Welcome to the Editrix, the podcast where we talk about satire, writing, and niche stuff like jeggings.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Editrix podcast. I'm Katy Maiolatesi, and I do social media for the Belladonna.
And I'm Kristen Mulrooney, and I'm an editor of the Belladonna.
And I'm Heidi, and I am also an editor at the Belladonna.
I'm Emily Kapp, and I am also an editor for the Belladonna, and we have a very special guest this podcast episode.
Who is it?
Can the people hear it? This is the drum roll.
What? No.
Oh, you can't hear it? Oh.
Yeah, I heard that.
You didn't hear mine?
No.
No, who was that?
This is me.
I hear that.
What about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I can hear it.
It's important.
It's Jennie Egerdie. Did I say your last name?
You did. You said it perfectly.
Awesome. Okay. Yay!
And it's a hard one. I never fault anyone if they're like it's my last name is like 900 E's. It's impossible.
Mine
I
is
never
so
knew if
many
it was a
vowels.
hard G or a soft G, so I'm happy to have
Yeah, it's like Egerdie, like chickadee, only eggier, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love eggs.
Welcome, Jennie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
My hot radiator's on. I got a
Oh, yeah.
Diet Coke tall boy. I'm
Oh.
never gonna die.
Do you guys ever had this
Yes.
vintage cola?
Yeah.
Actually, it's like gross, but I don't hate it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like
it
the grape
tastes,
lollipop.
Yeah.
it tastes like no
Fake.
brand soda.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So that's what I'm rocking right now. Let's go.
Jennie, how did you get into satire? How did you start writing?
Specifically humor and satire?
Tell us your whole life story.
Okay, fantastic. Okay.
Don't leave out a detail.
It was a stormy winter's night on a cold lighthouse. The moon was shining down. The milkman was plowing my mother. No. I kind of got into humor and satire writing when I came to New York and got stuck in immigration, actually. So I moved to New York when it was 2017, and I actually did the 90-day fiance visa, which honestly, I don't know why I did it. I don't think it really mattered, but and I've never seen the show. I just lived it. But yeah, so I'd just gotten married. I moved to New York. I'd filed all my paperwork so that I could get my work permit. But it was Trump won, so all the immigration stuff was super slowed down. So all the work I'd lined up, my visa was just taking long. So I couldn't leave the country, but I couldn't work in the country. So I had all of this free time and no money, so I couldn't really, like my partner was working and I had savings, but we were like, it was pretty tight.
Yeah.
So I started kind of writing then. I traded some labor for free classes at UCB, which is how I met a bunch of people. It's how I met people I was like started doing comedy shows with around, and yeah, it all kind of started feeling possible from there. So yeah, and then I got lucky. I think my first piece was in Points and Case, which was very exciting, and I think my second piece ever was in Belladonna, which was very exciting. So yeah, that's sort of how it happened. I'm honestly not sure if I hadn't been stuck in immigration if I would have found the time to start writing.
I feel like if you're like stuck somewhere, could be COVID. That's how I got started. Or
That's how I wrote the
lockdown.
Frog and Toad pieces.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're just like forced. You're like, oh, maybe I should get into comedy. Like, it's true though.
I did
What I
comedy.
gathered from your story is that you're saying you owe it all to Donald Trump.
And
Can we get it
COVID.
on record, Jennie?
And COVID.
Yeah, I want everyone to know that for sure. Also, I did comedy stuff in Toronto, and I trained in theater, so I did a lot of shows and performing and writing and directing and stuff. But yeah, but the comedy writing harder jokes and stuff came when I moved to the States. It was always like curiosity, but yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't until Donald Trump came into my life and really rocked my sweet Canadian world.
Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald. What's his middle name? John?
Donald
Thank
Trump.
you, thank you, Big Daddy Donny John. I'm so grateful.
He loves comedy too.
Yeah, and really made, because nothing's
Women
easier than
especially.
writing. Yeah, because nothing's easier than writing humor from the brink of despair.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right. So we have everything to thank for him to him.
sure. You know what?
Yes.
Honestly, it's worth getting the soundbite of that. Like, you never know. You never know if that's going to be the thing that keeps you from like the gulag. Like, it's just keep the recording, you know.
We'll like get a
We
bunch of
always
right-wing
send him
listeners.
podcast anyway, so
Yeah, and we'll get a bunch of like MAGA listeners, and they'll be like, "What's this all about?" And then
Yeah,
we'll be like,
also watch this in 10 years getting pulled up at The Hague, and you're like, I was kidding.
And he's gonna have to release a statement
yeah.
on her notes app.
And then
Then
they're like,
post it
"What?
to her Instagram.
She's on her period? What is? We don't talk about that here."
We have to edit it to like whatever is like convenient for the future.
Yeah, well, we'll have like 5 different versions.
Yeah.
Then keep editing and me bringing up the Kool-Aid Man and going, oh yeah, oh yeah, I love Donald Trump. Oh yeah.
Maybe, I like this. I like this start. I'll go next. My question is, how do you get your writing inspiration? Do you have a process?
I mean, it's changed over the years. Yeah. I thought for a second you were gonna be like, how are you so pretty? And I was like,
Follow-up
I am-
question, how are you so gorgeous?
it's very
you
challenging.
do have great hair though. I
Yeah,
love
you
your
do
hair.
have
Beautiful.
great hair.
Mhm.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I always feel I do genuinely feel pretty. It's like I have very thick for people who can't see, I have like very thick, strong, curly hair.
Mhm.
And I do genuinely appreciate that I can probably fall back on selling my hair if I can't sell any more books. Like I think I'm a wig maker's dream. My hair grows so fast. But yeah, what was the question again? Sorry, I got distracted by
okay.
wigs.
That's okay. How do you get your writing inspiration?
When I'm starting out, I think I had a lot more like inspiration-based writing. Now I think mostly like I'm trying to write headlines and ideas every day.
Oh, wow.
So I have a dedicated writing practice now to try to keep. It doesn't mean that it always results in pieces, but I do keep like most of us, we have the perennial forever notes app of things that I find funny, and I'm always like scanning headlines for topical stuff. So for example, like I have a piece coming out in McSweeney's next week, soon. And what I wrote that like 2 weeks ago. And that purely came because I was thinking about the Peanuts Christmas special and realized that the 60th anniversary of the Peanuts Christmas special was on December 9th. And also simultaneously that CBS has now been taken over by Barry Weiss, because I read a lot of news. Like, I'm just a big news junkie, so I read news all the time. So I was like, all right, with her voice tonally, like her direction of CBS written into Peanuts. Like, so I feel like most of my topical stuff comes from general ambient reading the news, and then pulling drips and drabs from like pop culture moments or something that I think is funny. And then I have like ideas that I've had for years that eventually I will like bang out and then try to sell and no one will buy. Which I think we all have that too. It's hard to tell which one is the fresh idea underbaked, or is the idea that you've had in your head forever just gotten so, it's like taffy. Is it too chewed out? Is it stale? So it's always like, I feel like for me, I think generally just always trying to keep a good ambient of like what's going on around me and what's going on in the world. Actually, even though I feel like reading my humor pieces, you wouldn't be like, I'm not like a topical writer. I'm not Carlos. Like, I'm not like gunning every day. That's not my skill set. But yeah, I think that usually informs tonally what I'm working with. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
A lot of great metaphors.
Yeah.
Oh,
And good tips too. Like a good tip to like just do that every day because I always, every time someone says that, I'm like, oh, I should do that. And I never do.
Oh, by the way, when I say that, I'm saying that's my goal. I
Okay,
frequently
okay.
fail.
But still, yeah,
Um,
that's your goal. Yeah.
yeah, but the frequent failing, I think is also helpful because I think so much
Hmm.
of writing is failing. It's rejection. It's
Yeah.
all that stuff. But you know, you got to keep going. Otherwise, you don't write anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will say, like, when I say I write every day, like there are days where that is just 5 minutes, and doing those 5 minutes is fucking pulling teeth. Like I've been thinking
Yeah.
about it for 12 hours, and I'm exhausted. I'm about to go to bed, and I'm sometimes I'm in the tub, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'll write on my phone. I set a timer, five
Oh,
minutes.
nice. It's like me
Like,
with working out.
yeah,
You just
exactly.
don't do it.
No, it is exactly like working where I'm like, and
Mhm.
then there are days where I um have more time or more energy and I can, but like at least the 5 minutes every day. I find that I actually I'm surprised how much I can generate doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've finished books that way, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you feel
Um
like pushing through like those those crunchy days, like it helps you when you have those like the good days where everything's flowing? Like, do you feel like that's part of like a large
yeah,
build?
I think for me personally, I think doing a little every day helps me through the crunchy things because there are ideas that take longer. There are ideas that just do. There are some that come fully formed and they're amazing, and when that happens, like I always try to like keep a folder of things I've made when that happens so I can remember like what a gift that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
Yeah.
But I would say 80% of stuff is not gonna come that way.
Yeah.
Like it's the working and sometimes like yeah, so I'm like doing the little bit of every day even just like helps me wrap my brain around stuff because it's active and it's like muscle memory. I'm getting used to
Yeah.
like translating thought to word. Um, but also a big part of it that I can't stress enough is how many times I don't write and I feel guilty.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's actually I think really important to remember too because it over years of failing it actually has resulted in me writing more because I don't feel as good when I don't get it done.
Yeah.
But I used to always fail because I would set way too high a goal for myself,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
especially with like work and life and so like some days you can only do 3 minutes. So it's like you just want to set it up so that you can get your wins, so that
Yeah.
you feel good doing it, so that when you have days that you can do more or want to do more, you have the energy and the muscle and the focus to do it.
Mhm.
Because if you
Yeah.
don't do it like every day and you don't like let yourself or like whatever that is for a version of you, I think
Mm.
that when you have those hot, good days, um, you either spend way too much time so it becomes like impossible to replicate, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or or you're like chasing that high and then you don't feel like you're a real writer, in my opinion, when I'm doing
Yeah.
that. Like I'm not saying anybody else, just me
Yeah.
when that's happened. Because I used to write stuff in like a 12-hour fever and
Hmm.
then I would be like, well, unless I'm doing that every day, then I'm not a real writer. And
Yeah.
now I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm a real writer because I some days get 3 minutes in, but I fucking do it.
No,
Well,
it's
I mean,
true.
that helps with the title too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey,
Wow.
Jenny, what's your favorite thing you ever wrote?
oh, God, that's hard. I think first of all, that requires like remembering what you've written on like a day-to-day basis. Right now, I think because it's seasonal, like I wrote a piece, yeah, I would think it changes day to day, like, but right now, like, and when I can remember, but right now, I wrote a piece called Ayn Rand Writes Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
And I just think it's Rudolph, the claymation special mapped onto Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. Um, and I just think like that's a piece I feel like I did the mapping. You know when sometimes you look over pieces and you're like editing it in your head and you're like, oof, I would do it differently now. I would do that
Mm.
differently.
Yeah.
That's when I saw it came to mind because I actually saw it the other day because it's in the McSweeney's Advent calendar from last year. So like someone was posting about it and so I like resaw it and it was such a nice moment to read a piece of mine and like it because
Yeah.
enough time has passed that I like it. Like I'm not like trying to fix it or change it. I'm like, oh, that's like I have been surprised because I forgot and I have surprised and laughed at my own writing.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of cool. Like that feels nice to have written something that like I would want to read even
Yeah.
if and I don't think all my like I would hope that someday all my pieces I would feel like that about, but like there's definitely some I still, no matter how much time goes by, I look at it and I'm like, like,
Yeah.
ooh, a
How did
natural
you go about
segue.
getting your agent? Did you have an idea for a book first?
Um, I got my agent. I'm trying to remember now because I'm like, right, it was about 4 years ago. I had a piece go. I've had some pieces do pretty well, and gone like semi-viral, but I had a piece go like mega viral, and from that's where I actually got advice from people like Caitlin and Brooke Preston, who like started the Belladonna.
Mm.
Um, who they said that when they had Peace go viral, that's how they sold their book, New Erotica for Feminists.
Yeah.
So at the time when it went viral, I was luckily connected enough I've been writing, I was still very early. I think it's pretty wild I sold a book that quickly. Like I was still pretty early days in humor writing.
Yeah.
But I was connected enough to other writers that, one, I knew that it was an opportunity, and two, that it doesn't happen all the time. Pretty quickly, within like a week, I had reached out to pretty much all the humor writers I knew who had agents and was like,
Mm.
would you, like, what do you think? Would your agent be interested? Do you have any recommendations? And I reached out so mostly I did it based off personal referrals. So I've never
Mm.
done a querying process cold on my own.
Mm.
And I learned a lot from doing it this way. But I met with some agents. My agent that I'm signed with is actually the first agent I met with. I took my time, but it was just I just felt like such a good fit. So I gave myself a couple of days between our initial talk and before agreeing to sign, and and space for other meetings. But yeah, I signed with her, my agent Laura Mazer, who's wonderful, in September 2020, and wrote the proposal very quickly in about 2 months, and then took the book proposal to market by November and had sold it by December. So
Mm.
yeah, I'd started humor writing about 2 years before. So I was about 27 when I started humor writing, which turns out is like very old, or like what I'd been told in New
No.
York. But I'm like, and also I know people now who've like started in their seven, like it doesn't matter. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
but I felt at the time I was like, I'm so behind.
I was
Um,
very behind. I was in my 30s.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
nobody's
Kidding.
ever behind. We're all behind and we're
Right.
not behind.
Right.
And but at the time I felt very behind, and but I sold my first book when I was 29, which feels like I think that's young.
Yeah, I do too.
For sure.
Uh and yeah, I was lucky. And then I wrote that book really quickly. So I sold the book December 2020, and I had it written by the end of February 2021. Um,
Mm.
so I kind of did it all in a mad dash. And I will say there was a lot of adrenaline where I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fuck this up. That's the one thing with publishing that I wish more people talked about is it is an incredibly opaque industry. There's so many things online giving like advice,
Mm.
and it's so hard to fact check it
Mhm.
unless you have lived experience or anecdotal experience to rely on. And some of
Mm.
that advice is crap, and some of it's good, and
Ah.
it's hard to differentiate. It is like you really do learn by doing. I don't think and also from asking other people around. Book advances can be anywhere from like a couple $100 to like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mm.
I've known people trying to sell on proposal books that have been offered like 12 grand, and books that have been offered like 108 grand. Like it's for the same proposal.
Wow.
Like it's so it's a very like volatile, mercurial
Mm.
industry, and it's so based on like the moment and who's reading it and the agents and the editorial boards. And so sorry, I didn't mean to like go off on this,
No, it's interesting.
but it is the best thing I can do, I can say if you want to publish books is try to talk to anyone in your network, hopefully that you have like at least some kind of social connection to, or even if you're like, hey, we write for the same publication. I hope it's okay. I'm reaching out. Like, I see you've published a book. I have some questions. Like,
Yeah.
because I do meet one-on-one with a lot of I try at least one-on-one or through email. I've had a bunch of people reach out to me because I think feel very strongly about paying it forward because it is such an opaque industry. Like, how would you know unless you have someone to talk
Yeah.
to? And
Right.
I wouldn't have had an agent if I hadn't been reintroduced by people. Like, I mean,
Oh, that's
maybe
so
I would have,
nice.
maybe I would have cold queried or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. That's how it happened for me, and I'm grateful for my network, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
did your book come out? The first one?
Which one?
The first
Um, the first one came out, God, the first one came
Finished writing
out,
February 2021.
the finished, yeah, Frog and Toad, the first one came out winter 2021, fall 2021, and my second book came out last year in spring,
Okay.
and my third book will be out fall next year. So, so it's been a pretty quick rotation. I've gotten, uh, yeah, so it'll be my third book in 5 years. Yeah.
Cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wait,
Thanks,
do you
yeah.
know what the third one is? Or is it the idea
Yeah,
that you or-
yeah, it was really cool actually. So my publishers had wanted me to do a Frog and Toad sequel. At first I because I like lived in Frog and Toad for like a very strong period, I didn't want to do it right away.
Yeah.
But this summer, my publishers called me and they were like, we were still really interested. So we hopped on a phone call and talked about it, and I actually sold the book on a phone call, which is wild. Yeah, and also that never happens. Like, I've never heard of anyone else that happens to who doesn't have like isn't like a famous person. So yeah, so it was really cool. I sold it and it's called Frog and Toad Make History. So it's Frog and Toad through different time periods. So this idea of like gentleness and generally fucking up and doing your best, not being like unique to now. There's always been Frog and Toad throughout time. So it's been really, really fun to write. I wrote it this fall, the manuscript's in, I'm doing edits on it now. I have the same illustrator, Heidi, who's amazing, and she's working on it now. I just saw a proof of what we think the cover will be, and I'm really excited. So yeah, so it's going like really smoothly, which is also very unusual from my understanding.
That first Frog and Toad book is so good. I got that for so many people. I think it's a Christmas gift that year because it was
good time.
Yes, I bought so many copies of that. It's just like, and especially at that time, it's just such a like warm, gentle book, but so funny, and like you did such a good job walking that line.
Thank you. Yeah, I really do love the characters, and I really am kind of glad I get to do revisit it right now because also like I wrote that right at the end the end of the first Trump administration, and and yeah, Trump won, and now that and I'm not trying to like tie it to politics all the time, but like it's important. Like, we live in the times we live in, and so I do kind of feel like it was timing wise, it felt right to try to make something that talked about like compassion and gentleness without being pandering or with humor. Like, it can,
that's a good combo, and I think people need that and crave that sort of.
I think I do.
Yeah, I do too.
What was it like going viral? Like, how did you know that your piece was taking off? Like, what was that experience like?
My experience with it was very strange. So, again, it's a different time now because at the time I had Twitter and I had not a crazy following, but I had like a pretty decent following, like a couple thousand, like enough that I was like, I felt legitimate. But I'd had pieces do well and gotten followers from it before. I'd had things like where I felt like my phone was blowing up. So like, yeah, like, and I'd gotten like emails from people about pieces I'd written. So like, I thought that was viral. I actually, when the second Frog and Toad piece I wrote on McSweeney's, which is the one that went really viral, I actually was camping when it came out. So I was back. I love backcountry camping. I really am a bear of a woman. So I was backpacking and I had no cell service, and so I was not like connected at all. And then about a day later, I came out of the woods and turned my phone on, and it got hot from all the updates. Like it was fucking crazy. Like thousands and thousands and thousands, like could not keep up of all the notifications. Uh and that felt insane and weird and it was cool though because it was like not just like a tweet, it was like a piece. It was like a piece I was writing, and it was cool to see like, and it was honestly cool because like weeks later, months later, like it was still being shared. I would still find,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, it felt insane, but it also, you know, it's social media, so you also feel like weirdly validated. And yeah, because it was so much, I felt really motivated to try and monetize it really
Yeah.
quickly, which is how the agent and stuff things happened. Uh and I would recommend that if anyone else is lucky like I was to have something like that happen, don't wait. Like don't
Yeah.
catch your breath. Don't like take like I mean you will catch your breath, like do all those things to
Yeah.
ground yourself, but like those opportunities go by so quickly.
Yeah.
Take the meeting, take all the meetings you can. Reach out.
I-
If you're already querying someone, take the opportunity to re-query them right away with the hyperlinks of like what's going on, give them the numbers, give them a chance to reach like because those kinds of things, attention is so fast and ephemeral. Yeah, so it felt insane. I kind of never think about it because like it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. But what
But
matters
it
to me
does.
what matters to me more is like is the books. Like I'm really grateful for that, and I get a lot of feedback from that, and I still get fan mail, which is really cool.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, it's really amazing. That's like, and that's wildly rewarding, and I also never would expect it. So it's really, really cool. And when I'm having bad days, like I have them all saved when I get them
Oh.
in folders to remember. I could tell you, I've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a couple of pieces, not just the Mega Viral. I've had a couple of pieces be number one on McSweeney's for a
Yeah.
while, and some like reoccurring, and it feels awesome, and
Yeah.
it's so fun, and it doesn't matter at all. Like it doesn't, you don't get more money, you don't get like it doesn't. I think so much of it is what you make of it and how
Yeah.
you present it. And I don't actually think like agents are paying really that close attention to it. I would like to say I never took Caitlin's class, but she gave me a lot of great advice when I was writing my proposal. And since then, I think one of my book proposals is in the class materials.
I have
So
gone back to your book proposal so many times. I'm working on a
thank you.
second book proposal, and I'm like still like going back to your proposal.
That's
Like your
so
proposal
great.
has helped me
Anytime.
so much.
I will say, I have been very lucky with proposals. Because usually you take it on submission, you do a first round, you get notes, you do a second round, you get notes, you know, and then, so I have, sold all my books in the first round. So,
Oh, wow.
I was really, lucky. It was a quick turnaround process, which makes me, I think, very spoiled. But, and also makes me super nervous because like, I want to take this other book out on proposal that I'm like, I just know I've been too lucky and I want to do like a kind of a different kind of book. And I'm so sure that I'm just like geared up to get all the rejection. Like I was like, I've been too lucky. So I'm like, ugh. Even thinking about it makes me want to vomit. It's
It's not
horrible.
luck though. Like I feel like that's not luck. You just had like such a clear idea
Yeah.
that was so perfect, and like of course
Yeah.
it sold in the first round.
Thanks.
So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like-
I mean,
But I,
and it really is like it is like so good that like you can teach off of it and somebody is teaching off of it. And it's
thanks.
like it's
Um,
been like very helpful.
A lot of the reasons you have to do is showing like why it's timely, why this is the moment, why this is the group, why these are the people. And um but it's hard because the writing of a proposal is so different than the writing of a book. And it's such a different part of even the samples, it's such a different part of your brain. So I really do like have to, that's part of the reason I'm like grateful to have more time right now because I was doing it all while working full time and like trying to write things more quickly and get them out to market. You know, you got to write half that proposal in just pure marketing like calm and like drawing lines that aren't there and making it crystal clear of why this is like you're an idiot if you don't buy this. And
Yeah.
which is very funny because like I write that way in that part, but then like my agent to my own writing is like, stop undercutting yourself. Whereas always like, don't listen to me. I'm just a dumb raccoon. And she's like, stop saying that. Like,
This book is dumb. Forget it. Just stop reading here.
yeah.
You write that into the proposal. Stop now.
I feel like I'm really so it's I feel like that is a skill set that I'm lucky enough that I had both maybe had some naturally and then developed before I got into book writing, that I think is part of the reason, because I would say I read a lot of people's proposals and give them the notes on it, and one of the biggest things missing is that universality, connection, that audience, that thing that you really kind of have to fabricate and build. Also the like kind of like massaging of your network where you just like you don't have to, you just overpromise. You can just be like, I'm tangentially know this person. Like it's not a contract. And I was surprised that like a lot of them followed through on mine. Again, I got very lucky. But I think also because anyone who's selling things or selling books, usually most people want to help each other. Like most people are like, it all comes around in kind. Like I've written a lot of blurbs now and I'm like, I don't know why my name is going to help this, but I'm going to help you. Like it's
Well, to me, the thing with blurbs, I've blurbed a couple books, and it makes me feel like having my name on somebody else's book cover makes me look so legit, So
Totally.
like, you shouldn't be afraid to ask people for a blurb because, like, I mean,
Never.
maybe Stephen King doesn't want to do it, but like a lot of writers will happily just, get their name up there.
I hate asking for a blurb though. Like the first round, I was so lucky. Pretty much everyone said yes, but I was so nervous. And then for the second book, they were like, well, you got so many good blurbs in your first one. Can we could just use them again? I was like, use them. Like I was like, I don't ask. And now I don't know. Now I'm sure I'll have to do it again, but I don't know.
Blurbs. Who did you get?
Like Felipe Torres Medina blurbed me nicely. Jonathan Appel is one of my best friends, and he blurbed me nicely. And Emily Flake blurbed me, and we weren't friends then, and now she's like one of my very close friends. Caitlin blurbed me, Brooke blurbed me. Like I got I was really lucky.
Are you a frog or are you a toad?
I think we're all both. I think honestly I'm a toad, but I think in my interpersonal romantic relationship I'm the frog. Yeah, which surprised people. I think most people are like, you're absolute chaos nightmare, and I'm like, I'm holding it down in this house.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm also, let's say I'm spiritually a toad, socially a frog, sartorially a toad for sure. Because that bathing suit rules.
Oh yeah. And also
I
if you're
hope I said
listening,
sartorially correct.
yeah, I think you did. If you're listening and not watching, Jennie braided her hair at some point. I just noticed.
Yeah, and it looks incredible. You have like the
It looks incredible.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Incredibly
It's the wig.
talented braider Jennie Egerdie.
Okay, let's go into our favorite pieces for the month.
I chose At Night, I Dream of Toilets by Kelly Huggins. Kelly has been a guest on our podcast before, and she was amazing. She writes us these crazy illustrated pieces, and this one, this is like an insane thing to say, but I feel like it's a little bit more grounded than other pieces she has sent to us. And this is about like, when you're sleeping, you start dreaming of toilets.
Because you have to pee. Yeah.
Because you have to pee.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that really like sticks with me with this piece is that it's the first piece where I was like, well, it's Kelly and like she does her own thing and we love showcasing her work, but this is kind of gross.
Yes.
The illustrations were kind of disgusting. And I was like, I'm gonna accept, but like, I don't know if like it kind of makes me want to throw up a little bit. And so I think I wasn't, so for people who don't know how we run things, is the editors, we just kind of switch off week to week. We all read submissions and we put our notes in, and then whoever's on that week, they like send out the emails and reply to everybody. So I wasn't on that week, so I don't know what we ended up asking Kelly for, but
she censored something.
Yeah,
she put the word censored. Yeah.
The image that I was so grossed out by. There's like a censor image over it, which is so funny.
I'll put
in
it
the
up,
notes. We were like, I think Kristen, you were like, oh, one of the images bumping for me. And then I looked at the
Mhm.
piece and I was like, oh, this is
It's liquid poop.
it was just too much poo-poo.
And it was just like, I was like, this is too gross to
Overflow.
look at. And so I just love that about it. And I think that censoring it made it funnier.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
So
I
she-
saw that, I was like, okay, I know they talked to her and that's funny. And it was like in her writing, it was something she just drew over it. It was
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah. Did we talk about it in the chat too?
Yeah, I mean, I
Relax.
just knew in the chat that it was that was happening.
Yeah.
And then when
So
I
we were
saw
talking
it, I
about
was,
because
yeah.
we didn't know she illustrated it and she went through all this work and it was
Mhm.
so great. And then we didn't know, can we give this note to Kelly because she drew it and she would have to like redraw it or whatever.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more time than just like coming in and changing a few words. And then she just did it and she found a way to make it work in a way that was like better.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was her
Agreed.
idea. Were you on emails that week, Heidi? Do you remember?
It was her idea to censor it. I think I
Okay.
actually was on emails and I was like, hey, like would all be possible? Like it's just so much, it's funny, it's just too much poo-poo. Yeah, no problem. And then she like gave it back to
Yeah.
us. Like, okay, good. Like
Yeah, she's got a great attitude. I think she draws on paper too, because if it were like me, I draw on the iPad. Hold on. Okay. And I hit myself. And it would be so easy for me to like add something. But I guess it's like similar. You just add something over. If you're able to add something on top of something else, it's not
Yeah.
that big of a deal, but it's still paper and pencil or whatever she uses. Yeah, she has got a great attitude about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really great. So I chose that one because I feel like that piece will always bring me joy because I just think that's so funny, the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I chose Memo from the CFO of Squid Games, We're in Danger of Going into Debt by Ji-sun. I really liked this because I think it did a great job of making Squid Game like real, but I also liked this because this was a rewrite. Originally she gave it to us with like a lot of numbers and we're all like, oh my God, this is math. Like I'm overwhelmed. And but there was such a great idea there. I find like sometimes with pieces that are maybe, and I know we've done a How to Humor piece about this, but pieces that are maybe a little bit like academic or legalese or you know, like financial sheets, or whatever, there's the form is like a little bit inherently dry. They can get a little bit harder to write because you get wrapped up in that dry form. Like you try to mimic it too closely. And so we try to nudge her away from like replicating that, you know, that memo and going over the numbers and making it a little bit, leaning it more towards, or like honestly, like not even leaning it more towards because it was already there. It's just kind of scaling back the numbers.
Yeah.
And she did such a great job with it. She knocked it out of the park. And I think this piece is so freaking funny. There's something about it because it's so, Squid Game is so dark and brutal to just have this like, you know, this clinical, like, while we ran the numbers kind of attitude towards it that makes it just so funny. So yeah, she did a great job with it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one where like the rewrite came in. It was just like, yes, like she crushed it. She nailed it.
I love that. I didn't know it was rewrite. And yeah, you just had a piece. Emily, I think, wrote, right? Yeah, she wrote a rewrite how-to piece. And so to see one in action is really cool. Mine is How to Pretend to Be Normal at a Party When You Are Not by Jack Bateman. And Jack, I thought, did a great job of like, I feel like a lot of us have felt this feeling at some point in our lives. Maybe not as we got older, maybe as we were younger, whatever. But for me, it was when I was younger. But we're all a little weird, I think, as humor people. So it's like we understand this notion of just being like, what do I say? Be normal in this social situation. But I think she did a great job of like making it weirder as the piece went on. So I have a quote here. It's when she says, when you're ready to leave, don't forget the person that you accidentally hypnotized. So yeah, it's just weird stuff like that. Like you didn't know what to say, so you just plumb hypnotized them. So yeah. And then the relief of being home afterward, after that social situation is really, the juxtaposition is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite piece from this past month is it was just published a couple days ago, and
I'll
it
put it in
literally
the
made me
chat.
laugh out loud. It's existential
Crises,
ranked by type
I
of
think.
camera footage by Demetria Rizzo. It just, I don't know. I really love this one because I don't know. Like I think I said this in when I was weighing in on it. Like just both the illustrations and the what am I saying? The words that go under it were just both funny. Like sometimes I think, it's just one or the other, but I don't know. It was so relatable, and
Yeah.
it really just made me laugh out loud.
The one where she's like, I picked out the two drawings for socials, and the one where she's like, she has like the iPad down here, and she's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's, oh my God,
so
don't,
good.
so funny, yeah.
Yeah.
And the grocery store camera, everybody looks so bad in that.
I think my favorite one is the passport one, and just the language she uses is just so like
I'll look at
just
that
over
one.
the top in describing that these entities you see in the cameras. It's just
Oh
so
yeah.
like
Oh yeah, at the airport, like they make you take a photo now. It's so bad.
so good.
I
But
try to I
Demetria,
try to serve every time I go to the airport, and it's always bad. I'm like,
I don't know what face I'm supposed to make.
oh yeah, neutral. Like,
So I was
but
just like,
I try to like stir a little bit, but it
Mhm.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely always want to have like a hot photo, like even if
Mhm.
it's just like, for government purposes and they're gonna like delete it allegedly
Yeah.
after. Like,
Mhm.
no, like that's not me looking bad that's not gonna be out there. That's not go out.
I kind of want them to use it sexually.
wow. What?
I think you have to check off that box. I think there's a box for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to say I give permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get permission for TSA to jerk off to my photo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever taken a nice TSA photo
No.
on those kiosks in my life.
No,
If
I
anyone
tried.
jerked off to them, I think there'd be a goddamn hero. Because
Yeah, I'd be
if
happy
any, like
about it.
that's yeah.
I'd be like, good for me.
It's always for like 6 a.m., no makeup, like barely, like
Yes, no makeup.
maybe even hairbrushed, who knows?
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Same. But
And then
I
it's
try
raining on
every
top of
time.
that.
And then I
Yeah.
look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's get on an airplane.
I admire the effort. I have never
Mm.
tried once.
Good for you.
Wonder-
It's my
like,
insecurity.
I wonder what they would say if you were like, "Oh, that's cute. Send that to me."
What if
Well,
you
it's a
like brought
robot.
a ring light, your own ring light, and you're like, hold on.
Okay, so I have tips actually from Janice Dick from an episode, or not an episode, from an issue of Cosmopolitan magazine from like years and years ago. Janice Dickinson shared her DMV photo tips, and I'm sharing them with you because this is important knowledge for all of womanhood. So
Fuck yeah.
she was like, you put on way too much makeup, and then you do like a pose. And that has been my words of wisdom that I've taken with me my whole life. When you go get a government photo taken, put on way too much makeup because then it will
I do.
Does it work?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
I have a-
usually good. The DMV photos are usually good, I will say.
No,
Mine
they're
have
always-
been.
I have a really good DMV photo.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hit and miss.
So
I feel like there's no it's sort of like having curly hair. You either like it's just how you wake up in the morning. Like some days it's good, some days it's bad. Like
Yeah.
I have two passports. Oh, am I back?
You're back.
You're so back.
Okay. But in my American passport, I look so good. Like I
Oh.
look amazing. In my
You're welcome.
Canadian passport, it looks like I look like a rosacea mugshot. Like it's horrible. Like I look like an ad for like a old-timey potato farmer covered in rosacea, like who's just like begging to be let into the country. Like it's horrible.
I have
That's-
two passports as well, and
Oh.
it's very relatable because one of them, my American one, I look so bad, and then my Polish one, I think I look pretty good. And
Oh,
I hate
opposite.
having to travel on my American passport because the photo sucks. It's like it's
They
one
don't
of
let you
those,
smile
it's a
anymore.
weird problem to have.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't want to travel on this. I want to travel on the good one.
Oh, I get.
Mhm.
I actually tried to show a TSA agent both of them once, and I was like, "They're both me," and he was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "This is not a conversation I should have at the airport."
I swear, I have a double life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm beautiful."
Well, yeah, the fact that they don't let you smile does fuck me up. So like, but I did take a passport photo recently and it turned out pretty good. I was like, I'm like, I need to look at it. And then I did a retake because I was like, it was bad the first time around. And I was in like a Kinko's. So
Oh, yeah.
no one was there. And so I'm like, hold on.
Well, that's what you gotta do.
That's what
That's
you do.
good.
That's what you do. That's what
I didn't
Janice
do
said
that.
to do.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
what
yeah.
Janice said to do. Janice said you do that. Like, and you do like you drop a shoulder. Like you drop a shoulder.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta
whatever you
try.
gotta do to look good and feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like Janice knows. She
Janice knows.
Yeah.
Like there is a reason like that's the one piece of information that has like gone with me throughout my entire life.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like, I love that information,
Yeah.
but I just know that like I'm never gonna do that because like one, I feel like I'm like shamelessly accepted at this point that I'm like, yeah, it's just ID photos are meant for future generations to make fun of you. That's what it
true.
is.
Yeah.
And two, like I know that if I start trying and it doesn't work or I have the same ratio of good to bad shots, I'm just gonna I think I'm like already on the cusp of like just sliding into unhygienic mess. Like, and I feel like if I really realize like I try and I realize that I have no control here, I'm just gonna be like, like I'll be full cousin it
Yeah.
by next Thanksgiving. Like just
Yeah, I teeter
just
as well.
reeking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My big problem with any picture, really, not even like government IDs, is that I always end up, I'm gonna try to do it for you. I always end up with a face like this, like
Hot.
half blinking. Like I can't keep my eyes open for a picture. And like
That
every
used to be
time,
me.
every
I got
picture is me.
you get in
you guys,
your head.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jenny.
So good.
Thank you so much for coming.
Sleep well, butts.
You too.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of The Editrix. We'll see you next month.
Bye. We love you.
Yeah.